as always, it's time for the MMT evaluation of A Complete Unknown. It's been a bad year, right? We've talked about this over and over and over. This is one of the worst years ever for cinema. I mean, it's not even a question about it. By the way, I have my Dylan glasses on tonight. Thank you so much. Yes, the IMAX 3D. I did see this in IMAX tonight. Huge recommendation to see this film in IMAX. But back to how bad this year's been, right? You go back and you think about how many films I've sat through this year that have been misery. Okay. When I come up with my top 10 worst films of the year, you need to trust me when I tell you that these are next level horrible. Okay. So when we get to that stream, it's coming soon because we're almost done with the year. It's going to be something else to go off on the odious shit that I sat through this year. So to finally, at the end of 2024, to arrive at a film that is worthy, without question, of being in the top films of 2024. And I will tell you now, as we go to my right out of theater reaction selfie, you see how excited I am with, yes, you can tell, I just came from there. Look, it's still around my neck. The IMAX one night only Complete Unknown sneak preview tonight. Kudos to IMAX Searchlight for doing this, getting this film out there before it opens on Christmas. Guys, listen, this is the best directed film of the year. No contest, okay? Remember, when MMT comes in and says, bang, gavel down, the shit is real. It's etched in stone. It's done. It's over. The contest is over. I still think I like the substance slightly more because of how wild and batshit crazy that film is. But, from a pure direction standpoint, A Complete Unknown is the best directed, calibrated, best looking film, best edited film, best cinematography I've seen this year. From pillar to post, this is a gorgeous film. And it goes to so many elements I'm about ready to talk about. But before we do that, here comes the very brief teaser trailer for A Complete Unknown. Thanks for being here live, as always, on MMT.
I want to tell you a little story. A few months back, my friend Woody Guthrie and I, we met a young man. He dropped in on us out of nowhere and he played us a song. In that moment, we got a feeling we were getting a glimpse of the future.
That's how I got so far.
Good start.
I could watch this film again. I'm not even kidding you. I'm watching this teaser trailer, and that's really perfection. What a piece of art by Searchlight on that. I mean, listen, we've had some great trailers lately. This is a fantastic teaser. Obviously, we talked about the 28 years later trailer. I mean, that's next level, right? That is Oscar-worthy stuff. But I think this encapsulates everything I'm about ready to talk about. You see it right there in that under 2 minutes. Listen, I can't stress to you enough how rarely I come on here out of a movie and tell you I'm ready to go back and see it now. Like, I'm not kidding you. It comes out on Christmas. I have to wait. If it was in theaters tomorrow, I might just go back and see it again. I got Lion King tomorrow, but I think I'd rather see this again, right? This is exactly where I want to be. I mean, guys, listen, what are we talking about all the time? What do I love? I love a grounded movie. I like based on real life. I like direction. And you're getting all of that here. And again, as I led here tonight on MMT, thanks for being here live again. If you're just joining us here on X or on YouTube, MMT, Midnight Movie Talk, always live, even after 1 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. Here's what I'm going to tell you. James Mangold is the best single direction effort of 2024. There are so many reasons. I'm about ready to detail them. And if you have not seen this film yet, pay attention. If you have seen the film, I've already seen some of you come through here and telling me that it is great. And he needed, and Sully, to your point, Mangold needed a banger after Dial of Disaster. And he gets it. This is where he needs to work. This is where James Mangold needs to stay. This is what he does. Okay, go back and look his filmography. Certainly, you guys know he excels. Walk the Line. I like Ford Ferrari. Excellent film. Go back and you look at the Wolverine movie. What at Logan? You look at all of this man's work and you throw out Dial of Disaster, and you're talking about somebody who fully understands from a visual standpoint how to assemble a movie. Because the cinematography and the edits here are straight fire. And it's not just about the cinematography and the shots, right? It's about the orchestration of the shots. Almost everything in this film is set up almost like a oneer, right? It starts as a oneer and bleeds into it, and then we get an edit, and then we get another swivel and another pan and another orchestration into a perfect position of the camera. Goes back to the cinematographer who also worked on Ford Ferrari and a number of his other films. And I had a chance to talk to him at the Ford Ferrari FYC function a few years ago when that film was in the running for all the awards. Faden Papa Michael is hella talented, okay? And this it reminds me a little, Elvis, right? Boz had that big feel to it. This film feels cinematic, okay? This film feels big, that widescreen, the beautiful, just really rich look of film, the color palette, and again, the overall assembly of this thing. And you look at not just that cinematography and the editing, you also have to have strong production design. You have that here, right? Anytime that you're world building back in 61, where this film starts, all the way through to 65, you look at that time frame. That's not easy to recreate. And Mangold does that and nails that. So that gets back again. Remember, who's the number one most important person on any movie set? It's the director. And James Mangold has all of this dialed in, calibrated to perfection. His team is all on point, and this is, without question, a film that should land nominations in virtually every single tech category there is, including, without question, sound. Obviously, it's a Dylan story. You've got to have sound. Let me tell you, in IMAX tonight, I can't recall a film that when Chalamet walks up at the Newport Jazz/Folk Festival there in Newport, Rhode Island, and he starts playing what we heard on the top, Rolling Stone, you can feel the bass in your heart, right? It's like boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, damn, I have not felt that in a very long time in any movie. That speaks to how well this film is assembled from a sound standpoint. So all of this goes back to that direction of Mangold, right? Because he's in charge of all of that. Yes, the team is doing production design and sound and cinematography and editing, but he has to have the vision to assemble this film. And it's all there, okay? Mangold better win Best Director, because if he doesn't, we're doing something wrong. Now, I have not seen Brady Corbett's The Brutalist, but I can tell you it's going to take a hell of an effort across the board to beat this from a direction standpoint. I don't think I've seen Mangold even thrown out there as a winner from any critics group as a director. Let's make sure this is fucking clear tonight. I want to make sure this is crystal fucking clear for everybody. If Sean Baker wins one Best Director prize over James Mangold, they need, whoever that critics group is, whoever's already done that, whoever's going to give that out, needs to abolish and break apart. Just literally, it's done. It's done. You're done. We're just banding. The organization's over. I am so fucking tired of this space being littered with untalented knobs who have no ability to judge a film based on its own merits versus what came before from the director's filmography. Go back to Sean Baker. Oh, it's Sean Baker. He's an artiste. He is one of our visionary. Honora can suck my fucking cock. I hate that fucking movie, and I will literally listen. I don't even want to do it tonight. I'm just here. Listen, I'm already fired up because if that film, and it already has, wins one Best Director over Mangold for this, I'm telling you, you need to go after these people. I can't do it on my own. I need you guys to help me out. I can't do it alone. I can only wage a war by myself, typically, because I'm the only guy who's out in front of this stuff. Now everyone's coming back on Honora. And I'm like, oh, it's about time. It's about time y'all join me. Why did it have to take so long? If it's not Mangold, you're doing something wrong, okay? Based on everything I've seen this year. Chalamet has won me over as well. This is not just about direction. This is about Timothee Chalamet finally, for me, and I mean finally, showing me and opening my eyes and my belief in him fully with this performance where he fully dissolves into the iconic Bob Dylan. I did not see Timothee Chalamet when I watched this. Okay? Yes, I saw the prosthetic nose, but it's good. It's a good prosthetic nose. It's not like Maestro. So this works. But let me tell you, I've been very critical of Timothee Chalamet. You go back and you watch our stream from Wonka, from the stream from the other night where I said I'd never seen him in something that I think he elevates the material. We are finally at that point. So I'd like to say to all the Chalamet lovers out there, including Club Chalamet, I am finally on board with Timothee Chalamet. This is a performance that has to be included in the best of the year. And unless I see something at the end of this year that is stronger than this, he right now is number one on my draft board along with Mangold in direction. Okay. Picture's going to go to substance, but this film is number two, and it is going to win virtually every tech that I have to award is going to this film. So it's Chalamet finally getting it done. And he, you know what he does here that I think is so crucial for a lot of actors. I see so many people that press, right? When you're pressing and you're trying to do too much, go back to Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson had a great quote, whether you like him or not. Let me tell you what he said. He said, when he was talking to Tina Turner on Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, he told her, don't do much. Do very little. The camera's big. The screen's huge. Just do something small and it will register for the audience. And that is what Chalamet's doing here. He's doing something much smaller than I think maybe I have gave him credit for. And that, on top of every performance here, goes back to, and this is back to Mangold again. Mangold got the best out of everybody here from an ensemble level. When you look at this film, and I'm going to leave someone out. That's how this is the best ensemble of the year. We just talked about it. September 5th is one of the best for sure. This is even stronger. Okay. Obviously, I mentioned Chalamet. You've got Monica Barbaro, who plays Joan Baez. You have Elle Fanning, who plays the girlfriend of Dylan in and out of his life. You've got Scoot McNairy, who's been in every movie lately. I mean, literally, Scoot McNairy has been in every fucking film I've seen in the past couple months. He's Woody Guthrie, and he's bedridden. He's dealing with a disease. I assume it's cancer. I honestly, I don't know. I don't have the backstory on that. But he still plays a very big role in the film as the open and close, right? You've got Edward Norton. Listen, Edward Norton doesn't get enough love, okay? He's the songwriter Pete Seeger here, and Edward Norton was at one time one of our most revered actors, right? You go back to him in so many films, and then he kind of fell off the radar. And the rumor was he was a pain in the ass to work with. I don't know if it's true or not. Remember that he was the Hulk, and then they said he's an asshole. Let's get rid of him. Okay, so maybe he's learned his lesson. I can just tell you, I don't know how he is off screen. I can just tell you here, he's perfectly cast. And it's another reminder that Edward Norton needs to be in more movies. Not that one he made from a few years ago, that Warner Brothers movie. I forget the name of it. It was bad. He made his own movie, and that was not a good film. He is perfect as a supporting player. He's not really a lead, right? He is kind of that journeyman kind of guy. He fits in any kind of role because he's not a particularly great looking guy, but he's also not like ugly. He's just kind of like an every guy, and he's perfect in those roles, and that's exactly what he's doing here. And you look at Boyd Holbrook, Johnny Cash. He's got just a couple scenes, but he does very well. They did nice prosthetics with him. He doesn't really look like Boyd Holbrook, so that works as Johnny Cash. There's a funny scene with him where he's drunk, driving around his gigantic, what is it, a Corvette or whatever the hell that car is. He's banging in the car. That's great at the end of this thing. You have so many other people in here. Dan Fogler's great. You've got all these, the dude from Babylon that's in everything, Wolf of Wall Street. He's in this. You've got so many really strong performances here. The kid from what was Ozark is in this. He plays Alice Cooper. Again, this across the board from top to bottom, this cast, best ensemble of the year, and everyone is playing at an A or higher level. So this is an ensemble play without question. Best picture, no question. And best director winner. We're not messing around here. Baker, hit the fucking curb. Your time's done, dude. Certainly not in writing. This is better. Now, granted, that's original, and this is this. I think this is adapted. It's got to be adapted. Although sometimes these movies, these biopics, are not. They're original. So I don't even know where this. I told you guys this year. I'm just kind of just like laying back on the award stuff. I'm not quite as engaged. But when I see the film, I know exactly where to slot it. I know where it excels, and I mentioned everything that's fantastic about this film. Here's what I will say. There's one note, and remember, whenever we have a review, I try to give you at least one negative or some kind of fix. There's really no major fix here, okay? So I didn't even include the fix tonight. I will say it's a bit too comprehensive. I think that Mangold, here's the thing, right? So Mangold's got a situation where he has to figure out, how do I get all of Bob Dylan's life into 2 hours and 20-ish minutes, I'd say, something like that. The runtime, I think, on AMC tonight was 240, but I think that included the Q&A. So I want to say it's 220, in that range, okay? But either way, it definitely starts to drag about the 130 mark, okay? But because of the filmmaking and because of the overall just calibration of this thing, you're able to get through it. That said, I would compress, I would extract some things, just a couple of things. There's a moment where he is in a public radio station with Edward Norton, and they do this thing. It goes on too long. That needs to be compressed. A few scenes, just a little bit here and there. But I like decisions when you look at Mangold's decisions to play a little bit of Rolling Stone and then unleash it at the end when he is there in front of the Newport crowd. That's great. Listen, I can't emphasize enough how strong the production design and the edits between, right, when you're looking at the Newport Folk Festival, you've got the crowd, and a lot of that CGI, because it's not like it looks like it's seamless. It's one of the best CGI efforts of the year. And the thing is right, there's so many things. People think that CGI always has to be Godzilla or has to be, Sonic or whatever the hell, and the MCU, whatever the hell the big effects film is. Here's the reality. Sometimes the best effects are seamlessly woven into the film, and you don't even notice them. I go back to this. I've told the story before. I'll tell you again tonight. Again, short stream, even though I'm already at 20 minutes. It's already longer than Jeremy John's stream and all more comprehensive, right? No question. Well, listen, we might not have the views. We might not have, we're a cult show, okay? We will always and forever be a cult channel. I don't care if it ever even gets remotely sort of bigger. It still will be a cult channel. It'll never change, okay, guys? That's never going to change. That's what MMT is. Here's what I'll tell you. Remember the story. If I haven't told it, I'm telling you again, or maybe the first time. When I was going to award seasons past, when I used to go all these events, I would actually go support a Complete Unknown event in a second. I would complete, and I'd have no problem doing it, right? Remember, I'm not going to walk into a Nora party. You guys think I'm insane? I don't want to celebrate that movie. See, that's the thing is like, I'm not a fucking fraud or a two-faced like half the people in this town. If I don't like a movie, I'm not supporting it. I'm not showing up at your event. But if I love your film, I'm going to come out and I'm going to hold the flag. A Complete Unknown. Let me wave that son of a bitch. Let me make sure everybody knows I'm going to run up and down Sunset shirtless with the Complete Unknown flag because I believe in this film. If I believe in it, you know damn well I do. Okay. But when you look at what this film brings to this year, it is by far one of the best and most impressive films. But quickly back to award season from 2019, going to Roma. Okay. You remember Roma 2018? When I was going to an event up at the Ross House, big shindig kind of thing up in the Hollywood Hills, all the stars show up and it's, it's cool. I'm not gonna lie. Ross House is cool. Here's what I'll say. I was walking in and there was a guy and this is a long walkway in. Anyone's been to the Ross House. And by the way, I'm bringing you into the inner sanctum of Hollywood right now. When I was at the Ross House, I'm walking down the driveway and there's another gentleman with me. The two of us are walking in this party. And I said, "Oh, hey, who are you?" He said, "Hey, I'm the effects. I'm an effects guy, and I worked on Roma." And I was like, "Oh, you worked on Roma? What effects does Roma have?" And I literally I said it like that. What are you talking about effects in Roma? Oh, let me tell you something. This is what you probably haven't heard from anyone else, and Netflix didn't want you to know, and I've said it before, and this is what you get from me and no one else. I've got great sources, including people that I'm walking into with parties when I used to do that. Now I just am like a recluse, and I go only to the AMC, and I walk in and out. And then someone snaps a picture of me coming down the stairs. Look who's here. It's Erick Weber. That guy's an asshole. Okay, whatever. How about you stop being a freak and taking pictures of me from the side? Come up and just say, "I'll take a picture. Take a selfie with me." I don't give a fuck. Like, don't be weird like that. Film Twitter's so fucking weird. Pathetic too. Pathetic. But but here's back to the story. I say Roma. What are you talking about? Roma. Roma's like, this is not an effects film. He whips out his phone and he shows me a shot from Roma that is literally, you go back to Roma, if you remember, there's like a pan shot of they're in Mexico, right? And they go across and there's like a trolley and all this shit. It's like all this stuff in there. He shows me the initial shot. There's nothing there. Then he goes watch and he scrolled the screen and now all of a sudden there's all this shit on the screen that he created. Netflix didn't want you to know that because they want you to believe that it's all there. It's all tangible. It's not. It's effects. And I can see now, obviously I know, I mean, listen, I didn't know that. I bet you a lot of you didn't know that. Effects. So this film has a ton of effects. It's seamlessly blended. That is another area this film excels. But listen, back to too comprehensive, just quickly, and then I'll give you my score. When you talk about a film that's too comprehensive, Mangold's stuck. If he leaves stuff out, someone's going to bitch. If he puts too much in, they're going to say it's too comprehensive. You should have whittled it down, which I'm doing. But I would rather err on the side, in a way, right, of including almost everything. I just think there's a little bit here I'd trim. And I would sit down with James, and I think he's obviously, I just gave him the highest praise, but I still think he would benefit from me sitting down with him and saying, here's where we cut. This is cut. Let's just lose about a minute here. Cut this down. Bring that in. Let's actually extract that entire scene. There's a couple. I'm going to watch it again, and I can give you specific notes, but there's definitely parts in there. And here's how I know. I mean, listen, I'm built to know this shit. Okay. I'm just him. But here's how I know. And this is amazing. I'm just letting you know. Again, whenever I tell you this stuff, it's real. So I'm sitting here and I'm telling you the film's running a little bit long. Like, this is where it's. Guess what happened at the moment? No, you ready for this? At the moment that I said this is running a little long, I think we need some compression here. The guy next to me at the IMAX tonight pulled out his phone really low and he was looking at the AMC app. Look, guess what he was looking at? The runtime. You see, this is why MMT will forever be the people's champion. Nobody beats us. Ain't nobody beating MMT, because that's exactly, it's literally like I'm feel it and the dude next to me whips out his phone. This is why we are the gold standard, as you guys know. MMT score of 95%. It's come on, 95. Have we? Okay. Substance was 95. So like I said, we're talking about two films that I love. After a terrible year, we might slowly be pulling the out of the nosedive and pulling it up just a little bit. I still think it's going to be one of the worst years ever. But you have two films at the top of my board, along with Handling the Undead, which is another film I adore. Man, what a depressing film. But I do really dig that film. Three really tremendously directed films, right? That's, remember, if I love a film, the direction's great. Okay? Always. It's never going to be middling direction. Why did I hammer Gladiator 2? because the direction is shit. And Ridley Scott doesn't care anymore. I called it, and his cinematographer backed me up. Is that you guys understand how often this shit happens? It gets so fucking tiring. Do you understand how tiring this gets? When I come on here months ago telling you Nora's a shit film, and I can't even believe it's up for awards. And now film Twitter's like, oh, Sean Baker's problematic. This movie's not very good. Thank you. Where were you months ago when I was out there on my own waging these battles all by myself? While the rest of you are like, I know it's the funniest, best film ever. The rape jokes aren't all that bad. What are you talking about? The character's not one note. Oh, shit, Nora. I was at the IMAX Complete Unknown tonight. It's okay. Strong grounded direction and the open mic scenes meant a lot to me. Being a former performer at them, but Chalamet underdelivers. Luis, listen. Am I telling you it's the best performance I've ever seen? No. Is it a strong performance, strong enough in a film that is heavy on Dylan, with Baez, with Johnny Cash, with so many characters from the 61 to 65 period? But listen, it's not a weakness of the film, because that's the thing, right? Ultimately, if you have somebody in that position playing Bob Dylan and you don't deliver at all, like it's not even believable, you're dead. You're fucking dead. That's not a problem here, okay? I'm not. Listen, did I say it's the best performance I've ever seen in my life? No, but it's his best performance without question, no question, none, zero. His best performance, and I think it is strong, certainly a top 5 this year. Listen, again, I'm not putting it up there with Cate Blanchett and Tar. That's next level. We only see those once in a blue moon. Rare, right? Rare. But here's the thing. She didn't even win, right? Remember, now and then other people now saying, how does she not win? Guys, God, sometimes I just can't. I can't. It's always so hard to be out in front of this shit, telling you what the right course of action is, and everybody else, Sean Baker director. No, it's Mangold director. Guess what will happen in about 3 months from now? Why didn't Mangold get more attention for bang, bang, bang against the wall, bang? I can't answer that question. I can't answer it. I can't. Gone Girl. Here's why. Okay, let's talk about this. James Mangold's a white man. Let's go ahead and let's fucking rip the lid off. Let's take the fucking Band-Aid off and let's have some fun here. The number of critics who are virtue signaling wankers is quite. I'm not kidding you when I say this. 97% of film critics have an agenda, and it's a left-wing agenda, a DEI agenda, a let's represent everybody agenda. I don't have that fucking agenda. I have a merit-based agenda. And I get all these Weasley-ass bitch loser critics coming after me. Let me explain to you one more time. You're a Weasley-ass bitch loser critic. I will fucking gut you any day of the week. It's not even a contest. It's not a contest, because you know what I have over you? I'm not biased. That's the difference. I am not fucking biased. I don't carry an agenda into my film. I didn't watch September 5th saying, oh, it's pro-Israel. That's your problem. If you're listening to someone who even throws that in, I want you to know that you cannot trust them with anything they ever tell you out of their mouth. And the problem is the majority of people in this space are exactly that. They're compromised. They have biases. They have agendas, and they're under-talented. Do you imagine the combination of being under-talented and carrying an agenda, and you wonder why we're the only people you can trust, or one of like 5? Sully's pretty good. I like Sully. And I might have to give Sully one of our, trusted critics awards. There's not many of them. There's like 5. So if you're in that circle, there's not many. Remember, we gave Action Jackson one. He is. You guys come after him all the time. Lights, Camera Jackson. I'm going to tell you something. What I love about him, that kid, he is fearless. He says shit that I go, that's what I'm talking about, boy. No one does that shit. Not these clowns at the Rap or any of these places. Name another one. IndieWire or any of these film nerd-ass, chin-stroking bullshit publications. We destroy them. It's not a fucking contest. And the reason is because we don't have an agenda. That's the thing. You know what, Aaron? I'm going to tell you what I love about Elvis. And they both look fantastic. I mean, damn, man, this is how a film should look and breathe. Elvis has more flash, right? Baz Luhrmann is a showy director. He's got those split screens. I will say Baz Luhrmann was, if not the best director of that year, 2022, correct? That was a great year. You had Elvis, you had Tar, you had Decision to Leave, you had After Sun, you had the Bowie doc, Moon Age Daydream. Dude, 2022 is by far the best year of the past decade plus, okay? So many people don't understand this shit. I don't know why I have to, again, remind everybody. Elvis is flashy, direction, and Baz kills it, okay? But remember, I'm talking about Elvis being way up here. So if I'm even comparing A Complete Unknown to Elvis, okay, not as flashy, it's more of a, just more traditionally directed, right? But those shots are so well orchestrated. You just watch, pay attention. It's not just like cut, 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 cut. It's flow, 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 cut, flow, 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 cut, flow, flow, cut, angle, angle, angle. This it's perfect. The coverage is outstanding. So listen, Elvis is a great film. I love it. And anybody who gets that wrong, they're wrong too. And A Complete Unknown is a great film as well. I'm very happy with both films. I will watch either one again in IMAX. I can't wait to see this film again. A couple more comments. We're out of here on this. What is this? Wednesday night? We got Lion King tomorrow night, by the way. That I don't think I'm going to be as high. But listen, I'm glad you love Complete Unknown. I knew it would be incredible. Simone, yes, look, I listened the other night. We kind of dragged. Listen, Simone, I'm not going to lie. I kind of dragged you for Club Chalamet. But you know that it's all in good fun. Because I told you, and you know I feel this way, that I have not seen Chalamet blown me away yet. He's not. And then tonight, I'm like, this is it. This is him. He's grounded. He's doing smaller things. He's got the accent down. He's got the mannerisms, and he's got a very good voice. As we heard from the top, I'll play it one more time on the way out of here. We get ready to wrap here in a few minutes. It's Chalamet singing that Rolling Stone at the Newport Folk at the close of this film. Oh man, this is Chalamet's shining moment, right? 100%. So Simone, you should be happy right now because I know I kind of, here's what I dragged you about. I'm going to tell you right now. I dragged you because, listen, it's hard to be critical of people if you run a fan club for them, right? Simone, listen, you know I'm a straight shooter. I'm just going to tell you what I believe. I'm always like that. So what I said is, if Timmy does not have a great performance, then you have to be able to go there and say it's not a strong performance. I understand it's hard for you. I understand, because whenever you are like that close to something, it's very hard. That's why I try to stay distant from this stuff, right? I don't want to have too close of a relationship because, if I'm come on here and destroy a director like Sean Baker, if he's my friend, I can't do that. But I think it's fair. And listen, there's a lot of problematic things about Sean Baker. We'll talk about it later as far as what I've seen before with Red Rocket and the relationship of a 40-year-old and 17-year-old. You've got no sex, scene coordinator there watching during an aura, and there's tons of like sex scenes in there that just seem like gratuitous. It's just lurid. And we're not going to get I'll talk about it another night, but it's amazing. I spotted this stuff before. I talked about it before, and now everyone seems to be coming on. Why does it always happen all the time? Why does it always happen all the time? Steve, so Lord of the Rings. Sorry, I love it. Listen, Steve, I might see it. I know it didn't do well. I might go see it, but I will say this. You have to see Complete Unknown, okay? I might see War of the Rings over the long Christmas corridor. But here's the thing, though. You guys got to remember, we're looking at a Christmas corridor that's going to be something else. You have Lion King coming in tomorrow. Whether you want to see it or not, it's a big film, even though it's not tracking that high. We'll talk about it tomorrow night. Also, you have Sonic 3, no interest, but I will see it, I'm sure. But I don't want to see it. You also have Brutalist Limited. You have Complete Unknown coming out on Christmas Day. If you missed it tonight, Christmas Day, you got to see it. Run out and see it. Then you also have there's more. There's a few more coming out. September 5th, slowly rolling out, which I really like. And there's some other awards films. Nickel Boys, I'm going to see this weekend. That's getting a lot of love. Looking forward to that. I think cinematography on that is going to be very strong. It's all I can just, I like the idea of point of view cinematography. We'll see how it actually works. We'll talk about that this weekend. That'll be Sunday night's evaluation, Nickel Boys. But this is going to be a great Christmas season. There's something for everybody. And I think you look at Disney today passing $2 billion worldwide domestically. $2 billion domestically make that. That's incredible, right? And that's a company that go woke, go broke, right? Remember? So cinema's in a great spot. And this film is highly recommended. You need to see it. A couple more comments. We're out of here on this Wednesday night. Thanks for being here again, MMT. Always fun, always live. And listen, I'm not going to tell you that you're going to get this anywhere else because it's very the majority, not just the majority, 99.9% of the people that do this do it with a teleprompter. Okay, they script it, they cut, they edit. This stuff's not. This is straight out of theater. I'm just shooting, right? Shoot. That's what we do. I think we do it better than anybody else. Very unfiltered, very fearless, and very objective. Ultimately, that makes us the winners. And ultimately, over time, as the channel, over 2 years now, we've been proving it constantly, just night in, night out. Whenever we're on here, no one does it better. And thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And it's awesome to have an audience that sort of enjoys what we do. What if the Nora party offered an open sushi? But yeah, why are you doing this to me? I would probably go. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I might go to the, because I told you of all the events I've ever been to in this town, and I've been to quite a few. Not lately, because I'm not interested. When I used to be excited taking a selfie with a star or going and talking to a director, now I'm a recluse. I'm now in the back of the AMC, and I just want to come in and come out. I don't want to talk. And here's the thing: the open sushi bar at the Joker party a few years ago was unbelievable. Oh my God. So it was up at the Ross House again, same place I had talked about the guy at the Roma guy. And the Ross House is, again, up in the hills, unbelievable house, beautiful views of LA. And Warner Brothers was pushing Joker hard, and I knew it would get a Best Picture. Everyone loved that film last year, even though the haters hated it. The voters loved it, along with Parasite. Those are the two films that kept coming up whenever I talked to someone. They had an open sushi bar. So they had literally nigiri, all that. Oh my God. I'm gonna have this. I had a plate full of sushi that looked like Homer at the all-you-can-eat when he's demanding fugu and he's pounding that was me at the Joker open sushi thing. Coach sipping Jamba Juice. Do you think Sonic 3 could? You know the stream's over when I'm getting super chats from Coach asking me if Sonic 3 can win Best Picture. This is next level. You're asking me to leave. All right, couple more seconds, we're out of here. Any other comments? Wide open, anything wide open for a couple seconds, we're out of here. I'm already at 40 minutes. You see, I say I'm going to do a 10-minute stream and it turns into 40 minutes. I don't know how to do a 10-minute stream. It never happens. I got invited to an Anora event. I didn't respond. This is the best comment maybe ever. This is Luis, I wish you had got invited and you invited me so that we could walk up. This is what would happen, because Neon fully knows. They're fully aware of how much I've dragged that film. I have absolutely just roasted that film since day one when I watched it. If I roll up to any party at Anora and I step out and I do not have a disguise with Chalamet's prosthetic nose and a hat and a fake beard, they're not letting me anywhere in the place. That's Weber. He's only destroyed this film. I wouldn't do it, but I'm just saying they would turn me away. They'd say, security, you need to remove him. He has done nothing but destroy, detonate, and dance on the grave of Anora for 2+ months. He is not allowed in our event. But at least you guys know that it's always based in reality and me being authentic. I would never even think of going to an Anora event. But if you want to invite me, Searchlight, to anything you have for A Complete Unknown, I will be there with a sign that says, give Mangold Best Director. Guys, that's going to do it tonight. I'm exhausted. It's already almost, it's 11 o'clock here in LA. Good Lord, that's way past my bedtime. I will see you back here tomorrow for The Lion King. I do not promise a wonderful stream that night. That is going to be, I think, a rough one tomorrow night. As we leave here tonight, let's get ready to listen to Timothee Chalamet one more time as he sings live at the Newport Folk Festival. What a performance by Chalamet, one of the best films of the year. Give Mangold Best Director. It's Complete Unknown. Thanks for being here.